Democracy allows for fair hearing. This is reckless. This is ungodly.
When news break, we engage experts in critical analysis.
Do you see your party coming into power come 2019?
This administration will succeed and succeed well.
You cannot be running a 4-year tenure like you are running a 20-year tenure.
He has done fairly well, especially where insurgency and terrorism is concerned.
Then it gets controversial.
They have the right to their opinion. Can we, very interesting, gentlemen, just hold on.
I am about principle and I am about focus.
Now, you see, let me
say this.
So that our soldiers will be free. We should also ask for justification.
Core Digest, your #1 program for current issues. Welcome back on the program. Well, this morning we're talking Homefront, building a successful family. The issues at the moment. I still have my guest in the studio this morning, Folashade Olabanji-Oba. She's a social commentator. She's a guardian counselor. She's also a pastor. She's even a politician. She's a woman of many titles.
Come on, sir.
But thanks for staying tuned again. Well, talking about building a successful family. Let's kickstart with what is a family?
Wow. I think God created the family, and I'm talking under normal circumstances, the husband, the wife, them building up their home, children, and then you have the extended family, which now families of both couples, and it goes on and on. So in every jurisdiction that differs a bit. I mean, if you talk about Europe, it's pretty much limited to nucleus, whatever. In Africa, it's extended and no limitations to family, because up to second, third, fourth, it's all communal, and everybody really being accountable to each other, looking out for one another, taking care of each other, helping to bring out the best in one another as a support system. Really, for me, that's what it is.
So we're talking, that's your own definition of family. Well, there's this general saying that charity begins at home, because we'll take it one after the other. Talking about building, talking about family, and making it a successful one indeed. Well, you're going to tell us more about all of this, but let me take you to this point where we always say that charity begins at home. What do we mean saying that?
It really must begin at home. It's supposed to be the smallest unit of the society, but really all inclusive. That is what makes the great country, that's what makes the great nation, you know, I mean. So we are all here for one another, but starting from your home. And so creating an enabling ground to where there's peace, you know, like I would start with the woman, the nurturers, you know, that is the way God has made the woman. Multitasking, you know, creating a peaceful environment for the new birth. And you know, I mean, obviously everybody at one time was a baby, and you grow into being an adult or a great man or a woman in the society. But I think it is very, very important that we start to look at the fundamentals. The foundation really is the family. And so the more dysfunctional families that we have, the worse of the society gets at the end of the day. So when we get it right from the home front, our job is less in the society. If you think that a lot of people, the people that do all this so-called bad stuff, had a mother or a father who really didn't do a good job of it, or something went wrong somewhere. So we need to start addressing the issues and getting it right from the home front. It's very important.
So at what point do we get it right at the home front? Because I raised the issue of charity begins at home.
At home.
These days you see different characters
Yeah.
in the society, and they will always tell you that, well, maybe that person was not well trained at home.
Yeah.
So at what point, Folashade, do the father and the mother begin to get things right concerning their children, concerning their family at large?
I think it's all about the purpose of what the family is meant to be. A wife, why you marry, a husband, why you marry, when you now have children, what is your job as a parent? Parenting itself is a ministry. And so, but it starts from you. You cannot give what you don't have. So, I think the awareness of you first being filled up with the knowledge and wisdom yourself, and then passing it on is very important. And it's not until you have all the money in the bank account and all that that you feel then you've made somebody happy. I can talk for myself, because the way, my mother didn't even go to school, but the basics were like, anything you do, and I will not be happy, or I will not be proud of, or something that can bring a bad image to this family. I beg you, my love, don't do it. And at so many stages in my life, even when I erred, she would always say, look at me, look in my eye, never lie. And it stuck with me all my life. And same thing I now pass on to my children. I'm like, you know what? Youthful exuberance, we all went through different stages, whatever. But the most important thing when you've done something wrong is realizing that you have erred. And because of that, you will make changes. You will not do it again. So, but when you lie, you're still covering up. You're still protecting it for another day, because you know you will do it over and over again. And it's unending, because one thing would always lead, to another. But I think we need to first start to invest more in our women, the girl child, okay? The men also, to be receptive. We have all this cultural, I wouldn't say baggage, because it's a culture which it is our heritage or whatever, but sometimes it has been abused to where a lot of women were not given equal opportunities.
Okay.
As
We'll get to that issue
Yes.
of gender equality, but do we still have that point where the mother will call the child and will tell the child, look at me, I'm your mother, and tell the child the reality?
and that's what I was just,
Because you made an example of your
of
mother
my mom, yes.
telling you how you should behave, what you should
yeah.
do, what you should say.
my
Do we still
mother-
have that in vogue these days?
We need to have it so much in place, because women need to occupy their place. I know there's a lot of pressure in the bills being paid, so you have both parents working and leaving the child to experiment with a lot of things, okay? Watching TVs in school, just learning from all the people out there. And sometimes you pick the wrong ones, and it's difficult, because you must do it and remain connected with your children, as to even when mistakes are made, they can quickly come back and know that you are their best friend, and know that you mean well at the end of the day, and they would always listen and be corrected. So I think the woman first. My mother, for one, always felt bad that she wasn't educated. Of all her siblings, she was the only one that didn't go to school, mainly because she was a sickler, okay? And she would always make a point of it, like, no matter what, I will work very hard. You must go to school. It's important that you go to school. Every time I have to call somebody to sign my signature for me, every time, you know. And then when I started to go through school, primary, secondary, and she would go on her business stuff, she would take me with her and have me represent her. When I make mistakes, she would say, no, that's not what I mean. Correct, you know? So don't leave your children out of so many things that you do that are positives, because it's also going to make them tomorrow. You know, the book is important, but also the street smartness is also important, because you must remember you're preparing them to live in a society that, you know, at some point in time you're not going to be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you now balance that now with what we are having at the moment, the 21st century child? Because when you want to categorize yourself, sometimes you see the children of nowadays, the phone you cannot operate, you can do it.
Okay.
They get more information on their cell phones. Gone of those days of yours that you don't even know anything like phones.
Yeah.
So how do you have or build up a family to be able to correct your child when you're supposed to do that? The social media would not take your place.
It's important, because I think my children get to make fun of me sometimes. Everything they do, I want to learn. And, you know, they call me a computer immigrant. And I'm like, I'm happy, okay? But I care. I want to know. When they tell me there's a new app, when something, I'm like, teach me, you know? And we have fun. But more importantly, it's because I'm monitoring.
But to a parent who is not educated,
okay, you know,
that's another different ball game.
I know.
Okay.
And that's why I talked about my mother. Once you raise your child to have a fear, well, I want to talk about fear of God, okay? Of somebody that they know is very important to them. They would always know that questions will be asked. Things will, you know, it's in that psyche that, you know what, you don't cross this line. You know, when we were much younger, we had the community raising the children. I mean, if I went outside and I did something wrong or whatever, somebody would knock me on the head and say, I will tell your mom when I get home. You don't do that. You know? So, but you don't get that nowadays, okay? Everybody is on their own. Everybody, you know, it's all about I and I. You know, we need to look out for one another. We are here for each other, for us all, okay? No one person can be an island. But even when you are not educated, okay, some things do not take rock science. Wrong is wrong, bad is bad. If you have a child that goes to school, some things you can look out for telltale signs. Normally, most children, when they're doing something bad, they start to avoid you.
Okay.
They start to not communicate.
They do talk even with signs.
Yes, you know, but you see,
Just a moment,
Yeah.
Folashade, when you're browsing or you're making some comments or you're online, for a mother or a father who is not technological inclined,
yes,
for a child to write M-I-H,
yes.
talking about M-I-H, it means what? That's a test for you this morning.
No, mother in the house or something. What's that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't talk anymore. Just remain silent. When she's off, there's another sign language they will tell themselves, and you'll be wondering, who are you chatting with? What's the meaning of MIH? You don't know.
You need to learn. And that's why, you know, when they have all those things, you know, I'm looking at my sister and I'm like, hey, come here. What does this mean? They'll be like, Mom, why do you want to know that? Because they obviously don't want me to know. So you have to let them know that you're their buddy. You want to know, you know. And I can remember on Instagram, the first time I used the Instagram story, we have a family chat group, and my daughter says, you guys all watch out. Mom has learned to use Instagram story.
Okay.
You know, so some things they still would do coding and all that for me. They're now telling themselves, she has known how to do it. So we have to, find
We have
another.
to change the
change.
strategy. Well, very interesting at the moment. Talking about children, nurturing children is something that is very good. But if you miss out in the foundation, well, you may have time to have a lot of things to repair.
I think it's never too late to get started at any point in time. Even if you miss, because there are many homes where the father is not there. There are many homes where the mother is not there. So, but any point in time that a parent realizes it's never too late to catch up and make up for that child. Never feel bad to go back and say, you know what, I missed it. Can we just start from now? Can I make up for lost times? Can you? Because it's important. Even the self-esteem of that child, okay? It's like, I used to be very shy and all that, and that's because my father was very strict. I would always be afraid to talk. But later in life, okay, it turned. My mother was the one that would now encourage me and tell me, come on, you're good, you can do this. And that same my father, who used to be very strict, obviously now when he was older, realized that I was really a good girl and he didn't need to have been so hard. He became, and I think by the time my father was, much older, just before he passed, he would be like, it's like he should put me in his pocket anywhere he went to. He used to call me 10 men in one. He was upset at first because I was a girl. I was his first daughter, and he wanted boys and all. And so he raised me as a boy. Really, he was very hard on me. But later he said, "Wow, he was a fool. God knew better for him because this is really what he needed. I was there for him. I was trying to play all the roles, and he was happy. I mean, he went to be with the Lord with a smile on his face, like, thank you, God, for giving me my daughter." That is very important because sometimes, the way we are raised, the orientation is like, we have this, it's only a boy, it's only a girl. No, give your children the best, boy, girl, and let them come out as the best that they could be. At the end of the day, you win. You'll be proud of your child, boy or girl. But most times it's like, after all, she's going to somebody's house. Why would I?
There's this perception about this gender stuff, male and female. You tend to give more priority
to the boy,
than the girl. So why is it like that in some cultures?
And that's why I said it's our culture. But if you look at places like Finland, all those Scandinavian countries where they really, I'm trying to get the word, but take care of the girl child and the boys, they have the best, the most peaceful place to live on the face of the earth. If you look in their parliament or whatever, they have more female. But more importantly, the country benefits from it. Things work better. Everybody, there's a true pride of ownership and home front. Where everybody would want to live in that kind of society without having to look at their back or not wanting to sleep at night.
Folashade, I'm going to take you to this particular point where we talk about domestic violence. Because we've been talking about the children. Now, the role of the father and the mother in the family is another big role for us to have a successful family. Now, what do you make of a case whereby you're having the issue of assault, battery, the father is beating the wife, and the children are there seeing, or the wife, the reverse is the case at this time, the wife is beating the husband? What lesson are we putting out there for the children?
Very bad one. Very bad one. And most times, children that are raised in that kind of setup are also attracted to that kind of abuse. And I mean, I said my father was tough, and I know I witnessed one or two of those. And in later in years, it obviously affected me. But thank God that I got help, and I was able to, grow out of it. But at any stage that you smell violence, walk away from it.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
This is one of very controversial issue at the moment.
I will
Okay,
tell
you
you.
will explain later.
Okay.
But let's open the phone lines now, because I know that the lines are indeed calls are coming in. What's your take on all of what we're looking at this morning? Talking about building a successful family. We've talked about the children. We're now at the point of the father and the mother. Well, the case of domestic violence at the moment is becoming a reoccurring. That's
Yes. A
so,
lot of it is
Folashade,
pressure.
at what point? You just made a very salient point.
Yes. Walk away from it.
Really?
Sometimes.
Religiously now.
Yeah, and I'm for real. Okay. Our women, and I mean, I'm a woman, we tend to be more expressive with our mouth, flippant. Even if your husband is not making up, he's not able to give you all the things you want and everything, you don't have to hit it hard on his face, okay? All your mates are doing this. But there are situations to where even the woman doesn't even say that. The man just feels insecure, okay? Women can actually handle more pressure than the men. And so the best thing you can do to that kind of man is not to rub it in, okay? Even if you're helping, even if you're supporting, that's what you're supposed to be doing in the first place, okay? So when it gets to where you're now throwing words and it's getting heated up, think safety first. Not just because of you, but because of your dependents. Because if anything was to happen to you, you really mess them up more.
But Folashade, to walk out of a 10-year marriage.
No. I didn't say.
That's what
I
you're
didn't
saying?
say no. Walk away from the scene of the violence.
Okay, no.
Walk away.
Thank
from
God
this.
you've just made.
No, I didn't say walk away from. Hey, that's
Because
not what
a lot of people will just pick you up on that.
No.
And you'll be receiving some
No,
banter
please,
this morning.
please. No,
Okay.
No.
So, at what point do you get to reconcile? If you have your husband is a tough man, you hardly cope with him. There's nothing you can do that is always okay for him. And I know there's some men that are perfectionists.
Yeah.
And when you do something like this, they'll say, "No, you're supposed to put it here or there."
But I said something about you can only give what you have. You cannot give what you don't have. So, saying you want to please, you want to totally please somebody, sometimes it's impossible. Now, knowing that you're giving your best is what should be on your mind. And when the best is not good enough, you still know that you have to keep working on it. And so relationships do not get perfect in one day. It is a continuous work in progress until we all go to be with the Lord. So whether it takes you 10 years, 20 years, 40 years, 50 years, it's great.
To get to know each other?
It's ongoing because you will change. As you grow, your needs in your marriage will change. I mean, my husband, before the children would come in, would go partying, discos, it was all about us. Okay? Now, when the children comes in, then you talk of school fees, you talk of accommodation, bigger house, bigger car, and juggling and balancing it out. And, so definitely you're going. And then at a point, they've all grown.
Okay.
They are out of the house. They're done with university. You're back to just the two of you. Okay? Then that's the time maybe you don't even have as much energy as before. Then you're now turning into grandparents. Will your husband now allow you leave him alone 1 month? You're going to your daughter's house to go and stay to babysit. Do you think of the needs of that? So definitely change is constant. But communication and knowing that you're each other's best friend and you're still trying to, because it is only in marriage that you are 1 + 1 1.
Okay, just a moment. We have a caller from Kaduna. Is it Leno now? Thank you so much for joining us on the program this morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us on Call Digest Extra.
Thank you very much.
Can you speak up so that we can hear you, please?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go on.
All right. Thank you very much. It's a privilege for that opportunity. I love the presenter, how she has been having some work because it encourages even the family members. The upbringing of a child will not lie only on the mother, but I want to believe even the father have a vital role. And the gender that we are into in Nigeria has been affecting most homes. And I want to believe I have a family that a female lady, what she did on the grandchildren could not even do that to the parents. So I want to believe training of a child, when had a good guidance, will also affect the life and it will also affect the life of the family. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Leno from Kaduna. We're talking about the role of the parents there, the father and the mother.
And I would still go back to the purpose.
Okay.
When you know the purpose of something, you will not abuse it. Okay?
Well, there's a general saying that says when purpose is known,
yes,
abuse is what? Well, when purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable.
It's inevitable. Okay, so we should not get it twisted. A wife is meant to be a helpmate. A husband is supposed to be a helpmate. You are one person. You are not competing with one another. You're supposed to help one another to be the best that you can be. Your team, you're a big team that, you want to outshine every other person and be proud of whomever you have chosen. Nobody forced it on you. You chose that person. So you've got to be able to be committed really to making sure that it works. It's tough sometimes.
Okay.
I mean, I'm speaking out the pretty English, but I've been there, okay? And it is not a one-day thing. It is a continuous work in progress. And sometimes you've got to keep your...
Okay. Now, talking about competition that you've rightly said,
Yeah.
the question that comes to my mind now, when you have husband and wife competing, the question says, which should be richer? Is it the wife or the husband?
Honestly, if we really go with the fundamentals, the competition word should not be, you will not even say one person is richer, because what you have belongs to your husband. What your husband has belongs to you. So
Do we still have that in today's marriage?
It's not a lot.
Where it's all about
It's not a lot.
me, myself, and I.
Yeah, and I'm being honest. And I'm being honest with you.
Folashade, you continue with this. We're catching our phone here on Call Digest Extra. We'll take this break. When we come back, okay. Well, Omololu is calling us from Lagos. Many thanks for joining us on the program this morning.
Yeah. Okay.
Good morning, Omololu.
Okay, good morning.
Hello, are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
Okay, go on with your comment, please.
Okay, I want to welcome our guest, Madam Folashade. I say I welcome our guest, Madam Folashade.
Okay, thank you. Can you please reduce the audio of your TV set, Omololu, please?
Yeah, okay, I'm done that.
Okay.
Yeah, she thank God for people like this. It's good to know that we have women that understand the concept of family and marriage. Like she said, when two people come together, they produce one of the most important parts of the society, the family. It is very critical to the whole society. And as we all know, that village is the one attacked by the devil. You know? So when two people are together, they must have a reverse. Like she said, two of you choose each other. It's not a forced relationship. And as she rightly said, now I think everybody is talking about domestic violence, this and all that. Most of the time, it's not as if I'm soliciting for the men folks. The man has been abused long ago, continuously. And you know they don't talk.
Okay.
Women are more you know, and everybody now comes to our support. You know, and it's getting more and more challenging to keep families together nowadays. So I think something must be done. This is a very good program, and also we should also include our youth that are planning to get involved, because ultimately it will show the kind of people we produce in our nation.
Okay. Thank you very much, Omololu from Lagos. Well, we promise you that it's going to be in series. We'll have to talk more about building successful family in the country at the moment. Back to the issue of financial power between the husband and the wife, because it's always there. It's something that a lot of people are running to discuss. But we have it here on the program, and Folashade Olabanji here, she's on the program to do justice to this.
I'm laughing.
Why are you smiling?
No, because I still can't get over when he said the men have been abused for so long, you know. Yeah,
well,
the women actually beat up their husbands, and but
is it not real?
Well, the truth he's trying to say is that the men get to sacrifice also so much for the women and the family, but most times the women get away with everything. Okay, because all the attention at the end of the day always goes back to the mother. I mean, I'm talking children. Most children, if you tell them to choose mom and dad, most times they're going to be like, my mommy first, you know. And when they make money, they're going to start taking care of their
You guys know, you know how to do that.
Yeah.
You know how to do that.
It's an art that is perfected.
When you collect money from
the husband, the father.
No. The son is coming home to give the mother money, and when he's out of the house, whatever he has given to the father, the
comes
mother
back
is,
to the mother.
Is coming again to collect. Why is it so?
Thank God for that. Hey, for where it works.
Okay.
It's not every home that has that. It's not every home. Yeah. And you know, what works in one home, for real now, what works in one home does not necessarily work in another home.
Okay.
So don't try to compare, because your friend's husband, you know, gives the wife 1,000 naira every day for soup, and you're not getting it. That means you have a worse husband. Okay. Or because you don't have joint bank account, that makes your marriage less of value. No. You know, as you are forming your relationship and you're growing, you obviously must have drawn out some lines for yourself to where women, we tend to be more extravagant in our spending. Okay. So if you're going to be a good spender, be a hard worker. Make sure your money you are spending.
Make sure you're not a lazy Nigerian.
Yeah, that's it, you know. I mean, no man is going to be happy. He's working so hard and you're just spending the money anyhow. Okay.
Is there any man that's ready to marry a liability this day?
Well, yeah, most men still
marry liabilities.
It's not liability the way you call it, but it's not all men that actually want their wives to work so hard. Some, I mean, and I'm saying it because it's understanding. When you're raising a young family, you've got to be able to know what is important, and that goes back to Barbara Bush, of blessed memory. That was a woman after my heart. Okay, she was a homemaker, and she juggled everything, and the best. The president, the senior, chose her to be a homemaker, and if you look at their life, it paid off at the end of the day, because he was a president. He had a son that became a president. He had governor. He had, so really, the fact that she was at home, she had the time to babysit those children, do their homework, talk about their character, help them in building, and that's really what it is about. What did she miss by not? And would you say she wasn't a worker because she wasn't collecting salary from some, but she was investing in her family, which paid off at the end of the day. So if a man can afford it, why not? But the woman must also be cooperative enough not to go and, it's because you're not allowing me to work, that's why I have not bought a Rolls Royce, and because you can't buy me a Rolls Royce, so every day you are whining and making life.
The wife is nagging every day.
And making life. No. That's not nice. See each other as one. Help one another. And if you know you have that extravagant tendencies, or if you know then you better be able to work hard and be supportive to where you are an asset to your husband as well. That's also important.
Okay, we'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll talk more about this issue of gender equality, because I know you women, you always you are advocating that you want to be equal to the men. I don't know how true is that, but let's go on this break. When we come back, Folashade Olabanji-Oba, she's still very much in the house this morning, so let's allow your calls also to come in. I will be right back after this break.
London, New York or Lagos, business or holiday, home or office, you can now carry out your tax transactions from anywhere in the world. You can now file all your tax returns, pay online, get a receipt, and even process your tax clearance certificate from anywhere in the world online and in real time. All you need to do is log on to www.firs.gov.ng and click on e-services and be introduced to the world of innovation, convenience, and transparency from the FIRS. You can also pay stamp duty as you register a new company with the CAC, or for other transactions that require stamp duty payment online. You can also file your withholding tax returns and determine the withholding tax deducted from you is in government covers, so that you can get your receipt within 45 days as long as the deduction has been remitted. Yes, all of this and more online at www.firs.gov.ng/e-services. FIRS, making tax administration as easy as ABC. Please note that all FIRS services are free of charge. This message is from the Federal Inland Revenue Service. It pays to pay your tax.
For every human need, there is a solution. For every challenge, there's a remedy. These challenges come through innovative ideas from visionaries like you. Do you have such ideas? Are you interested in converting your ideas into solutions for the development of the South-South? Then welcome to Merridale Innovation Hub, Tinapa, Calabar, Cross River State. Merridale Hub is an Empower Innovation initiative to grow the South-South economy using technology. This is a platform for the new generation, digital natives, to demonstrate and deploy their creative genius for the growth of Nigeria's South-South region and the entire nation at large. Everything we need is not abroad, it's right here. So hurry now and apply online at merridalehub.com. Successful applicants will be contacted and funded. For more details, visit www.merridalehub.com. Merridale Innovation Hub. Innovation for transformation.
Hi, I am Anita Patrick, host of your program Abuja Today, that brings you highlights of happenings in Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory from the Office of the Federal Capital Territory Administration.
I appeal to all of us citizens, leaders, politicians, and all to support this team to be able to restore the Abuja Master Plan.
To the streets that involves every boy, every girl, every man, every woman, and every youth on the streets, unfolding of happenings in the nation's capital territory.
Our challenge here is kidnapping, and the secret is there. It's a very short journey. You don't have to go as far as Abaji before you know what is happening in Kuji.
All of us, we don't know, in short, we don't know where to put head, because definitely our children, they are hungry.
So join me at this time on Core TV as we take you on a tour on Nigerian seat of power.
Democracy allows for fair hearing. This is reckless. This is ungodly.
When news break, we engage experts in critical analysis.
Do you see your party coming into power come 2019?
This administration will succeed and succeed well. You cannot be running a 4-year tenure like you are running a 20-year tenure.
He has done fairly well, especially where insurgency and terrorism is concerned.
Then it gets controversial.
They have the right to their opinion.
Can we, very interesting gentlemen, just hold on.
I am about principle and I'm about force.
Now, you see, let me
say
So that our soldiers will be free. We should also ask for justification.
Core Digest, your #1 program for current issues.
Welcome back on the program. Well, we still have some minutes with Folashade Olabanji-Oba in the house this morning, talking building a successful family. So, back to our question, talking about gender equality now. What is this issue? Is there any big deal about this agitation for gender equality?
It is a big issue.
Okay.
But I'm happy that at least we're dialoguing. We haven't gotten there yet. I'm not so much just that it must be equality, we are the same, no. I'm like, equal opportunity. We have been shortchanged for so many years.
In what sense?
I mean, the numbers don't lie, okay? If you look in all our institutions, if you consider that we are more in numbers, we do so much more, and our representation is so little in deciding what really happens to us or our families. So it's important that we have more women empowered, more women included in the decision making, because it affects us all. So equal opportunity for education, equal opportunity for the workforce, okay? Equal opportunity, I mean, in really most things about life, even religion, even most churches, because you're a woman, you cannot lead, you're not allowed to lead. Some things, so, but at the end of the day, the narratives are changing. At least we're being aired out, we're being listened to now, and the numbers are going up.
In this part of the world, do you see women as better managers?
Don't get me into trouble here. Like I said, it's not about competition.
Okay.
We are built for the rugged roads. We are multitasking. We juggle so many things. So, and when you put a woman, and I'm not going to talk about the one-offs that I've heard once in a while, when you put a woman to a task, you can pretty much go to sleep that she will do that job diligently and, yeah, very well.
Really?
Yeah, most times. We are built like that, honestly. And so any nation that is not building up their women is losing out for it. And so there's no reason why you shouldn't take advantage of the women that you have, put them to good use. The society will be better. The men will actually, because at the end of the day, even in Africa, yes, you own the woman, you own the children, you own everybody. So hey.
Now, in this case, let me just paint this scenario. Where there's this case that happened recently. A woman built this particular house without the consent of the husband, and later, when the deed was done, I said, "Honey, I have a surprise package. This is the house I built with my hard-earned money," and that was the beginning of the crisis. So, what do you mean?
The level of understanding that is in between the two of them, the exposure that they both have, is going to come to play here. Because on one side, An understanding husband would be like, wow, babe, thank you, wow, you know, and be like, it's still for us. A non-understanding husband will start to question, wow, you can kill. Where did you get the money? You betrayed my trust. I've been doing this and you've been saving up all your money. Is it in your name? Is it not in your name? And you know, the more you try to dig, the more you're gonna get into really, really muddy waters. Okay? So I think it takes two. The communication between the husband and the wife is very important, as to even when you do feel a need to say, I'm saving my money, I'm not telling you what I'm doing with it, or I'm saving my money, you know.
Just a moment.
Let him know
our last
something
caller for this
about
segment,
it.
Michael, is calling us from Rivers. Man, thanks for joining us on the program this morning. Hello, good morning, Michael.
Yeah, Emmanuel, good morning.
Good morning.
I was listening to your program this morning based on the issue of my building a successful home.
It's still on.
You see, what I want to contribute is that, the issue of marriage, most especially in Africa here, like when you talk about battery or assault of a thing, whereby the man maybe in one way or the other try to humiliate the woman, and in the presence of the children. You see, I found out that in Western countries, the way we treat our ladies here is not the same. Like most especially when they are with the children, like white men, like most especially Europeans, they don't have quarrels or even beat their wife in the presence. Here, this is what really takes place. And by showcasing what they are doing, maybe fighting in the presence of their children, it is telling their children that, look, as if you are growing, this is how you will behave. So, and now, many Africans today, you see, they humiliate their wives, this kind of thing, and I don't really know whether they don't even know what it takes to be a father or those kind of things. So that is what is going on. So I think it's high time Africans, we change our mentalities in our home, because by building a good home, you see that it is just a matter of the wife and the man. They have to make a joint. It is a joint venture. It's not just a matter of the wife alone. So because the husband has to play his role, the wife has to play her role. So that is just my take on that. Thank you
very much, Michael from Rivers. Your parting shot on the program this morning. Your advice to fathers, mothers, children for a successful family.
Be the best. Occupy your place. Give your very best. Because at the end of it all, it's still going to be the best you've given to your country, to, the nation or whatever that it is we are all trying to do. But be that change you want to see in the world. At the time you're gone, the legacy continues. Let it be known of you that, you gave the best to the world. I mean, the father and mother of our president today, wherever they are, they'll be smiling down because their son became the president of Nigeria. So raise your child, no matter how. It could be the best professor, the governor, the leader.
And to also have
the fear of God. Yeah, that's it. Fear of God. Right. That's the greatest leadership skill.
Social commentator. She's a pastor. She's a politician. A woman of many titles. On the program this morning, Folashade, Olabanji-Oba. Many thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
On call like this.
Thank you.
Yeah. I hope the next time we call on you, you'll manage us.
Thanks.
And that's how much we can take on this segment. We'll take a break now. When we come back, it is up close with one naughty guy. Well, do not go anywhere. You want to meet him? Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
For every human need, there is a solution. For every challenge, there's a remedy. These challenges come through innovative ideas from visionaries like you. Do you have such ideas? Are you interested in converting your ideas into solutions for the development of the South-South? Then welcome to Merridale Innovation Hub, Tinapa, Calabar, Cross River State. Merridale Hub is an Empower Innovation initiative to grow the South-South economy using technology. This is a platform for the new generation, digital natives, to demonstrate and deploy their creative genius for the growth of Nigeria's South-South region and the entire nation at large. Everything we need is not abroad, it's right here. So hurry now and apply online at merridalehub.com. Successful applicants will be contacted and funded. For more details, visit www.merridalehub.com. Merridale Innovation Hub. Innovation for transformation.
On Digi 360, we don't just ask the questions. What is wrong with amending the Constitution the way the National Assembly members have been doing it? We seek answers.
Constitution is constituent. Our problem is not lack of laws. Our problem is lack of the willpower to implement our laws.
Answers that provide clarity.
While we negotiate, we should try to make it a point that the girls must be complete.
The clarity you need to make informed judgment so that you can make the right decision and take action. People are saying it is you politicians that are responsible for this, that you are the reason why this is happening.
All these dollars that call themselves governors in this country?
I wish we had people like Tony at the National Assembly.
God forbid that I go to join that
Digi 360, providing clarity to issues.